Yo, what is good, boys? So today I have only done around $150 in rev, which is suboptimal, but I am starting to see sales come in now, which is good. And obviously, because I'm in the UK, it's kind of like split down the middle, where you have the evening of the day before in the morning, and then the start of the next day in the evening. So as I'm going to bed, I'm seeing sales come in. I woke up with none, but I've had three in the last like couple of hours, which is a good sign. So maybe it will recover tonight. Who will see? But yeah, I'm gonna leave the budgets for now. See how it performs over the next few days, and then maybe cut back down a little bit if it's still too stinky. But I launched a new product today. It is the first seasonal product of 2025, so we'll see how that does. Hopefully, it prints and makes me 100k, and I can hit my goal. But it might not. So obviously, only time will tell on that one. I've also got another seasonal product lined up and ready to go. So that's like in the ads manager, locked and loaded, basically. And the way I did that was it was a product that I'd run before. So I took the winning ads from the previous campaign. I've put those in, and then I've also made about 6 or 7 new creatives that have gone in. So that'll be interesting to see how that does. I've also improved the offer and done some other stuff too. Other things I've done today is just hella product research. So I've literally been on Calculator. I checked it this morning, and I also checked it again now. So probably 3 hours of product research today. I've also been watching a course on direct response marketing to try and improve that. And I need to spend some time like researching my customer a little bit for the store that I'm running. But yeah, I've also had a bit of a stinker. So it turns out the Amex card that I got actually has a limit, which is rather suboptimal, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But I've sort of got a few options. So I've laid them out and I'll see you what the move is. So these are the options for capital. So what I'm doing right now is I've got a personal Amex, and I'm just like spending on it. It's got like a 7k limit, so I'll spend on it, and then as soon as the Shopify payments come through, I just pay off it. I just pay it off with the Shopify payments, and as long as it stays under the limit, I can just keep doing that. So I've spent like 10k on it or something, or USD. I spent like way less than that in pounds, but I spent a lot on it this month, like more than the limit. But I just cycle it under the limit, so it never like gets charged. That's kind of what I'm doing. But obviously, as I scale, this is not going to work. So the other option I have is to get a loan. That is an option, but I've done some research, and I probably need like a rather large quantity of money for it to like be enough. Another option is to do joint stores with prawn. That is an option. And then another one is just try and like credit card max and get like a shit ton of credit cards and just like recycle them in the business manager, and try and ask other family members to co-sign. I also tried applying for some new charge cards in the UK today, so I rang up Lloyd's Bank, and they do a charge card, but they said because I made my limited company about 2 weeks ago, they ain't giving me shit. I think this is the issue, guys. I made my limited company literally 2 weeks ago. I had one with Jonathan, but because it was joint, I shut it down like a month ago, and then I made my own, and that's kind of cooked me because now the company's like brand new and no one will give me a credit card, which is annoying. But definitely be able to get an Amex Gold business in 2026. That should not be an issue. But for Q4, I need cash flow, so we'll see what CB says about that. Oh yeah, I want to talk to you guys about just sort of driving yourself as the source of money. I mean, you are ultimately the thing that makes the money. It's not the product. It's not the creatives. It's not anything. It's your inputs that you put into this world, and the outputs that come from it are purely because of the work you've put in. Um, it's always a skill issue. Like it is at the end of the day. I don't want to hear it. People get lucky, but it always it's just skill at the end of the day. Like, yes, someone could get a lucky winner and make peas, but in the long run, are they going to be as successful as the guy that just wants it the most and puts in the most work? No. So that's kind of that's my outlook on it anyway. So yeah, some tips on how to sort of operate yourself as the ultimate breadwinner in this game of economics. So First of all, obviously things will work different for everyone. I think the main thing with like productivity is that you experiment and try things that work for you. But this is currently the strat that I'm running at the moment, for like productivity and the optimal method. So I've actually got a few things I want to try to improve it because it's not perfect. But yeah, a few things that I've learned. So back in the day, at the start of this journey, I was doing like way too much. I'd be just doing too much productivity shit to the point where I wasn't actually getting the work done, and that actually went on for months, and I didn't really do anything. So you want to keep it simple and be like experimental with what works. But for me, like morning routine, is wake up. I don't check my phone. I straight away get out of bed, open my curtains, make my bed, go downstairs, eat food that I've like meal prepped the night before, and then come upstairs. I should know what the tasks are that I need to do today. If I don't, then I'll like quickly make a to-do list. And then I'll sit on the floor and I'll meditate. And I started off with like 5 minutes. Now I'm doing like 15 minutes, which is pretty cool. So I do like 15 minutes on the floor with a timer. When that goes off, I straight away have a cold shower, make I make a coffee when I have my breakfast, so I have a cold shower, sit down with like a black coffee and do deep work. That's like been the strategy. And the reason why, so after I realized that I was doing too much productivity, I then went to the other extreme and I did zero. So from like, I'd say in August and start of September, I would just wake up and work. And this kind of worked for like maybe a month. And then I started getting really, really burnt out and I just wasn't taking care of myself properly. So I was too stressed basically. And that actually eventually, I got loads done, but eventually it led to me just crashing out and not doing work because I would be like scrolling because I'm just like coping with the amount of stress that I'm under. So what I've sort of learned now is I've learned how to increase my stress, but now I'm learning also how to decrease my stress and hold it at like the optimal level. Because if you're not stressed enough, you don't do shit because you're just comfortable. And if you're too stressed, you also don't do shit because you can't actually think clearly and you make poor decisions. So there's like an optimal level of stress that you need to find. And the way that I've recently found out how to reduce the stress is to meditate in the morning. You can do cold shower to just like eliminate any extra thoughts. That combo is brutal. Like meditate then cold shower, your mind is clear. Like it's sick. Gym, always go, and just like spending some time outside. Also, consuming content directly impacts my stress levels. If I'm watching videos while I'm doing stuff, it makes me more stressed and can be good, can be bad. So now, like, I try and eat my food in the garden with no phone. That's a good way to sort of de-stress, but and just gives you that time to sort of think because ultimately those thoughts are going to be where you have those like aha moments and something changes. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with the productivity. I just watched the video by Sean Ang on productivity, which is what I'm talking about. It. So I'll probably put that on my Discord. But yeah, boys. I think that's the end of today's video. Tomorrow I'm going to lock in on some more product research. Gonna try and level up my creative skills, and it's gonna be the 30th of September tomorrow, which means I need to refresh the monthly plan on the whiteboard and make some goals for October and what I want to achieve. So yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job on September so far. Let me actually have a look at the board. I want to see what I wrote down at the start of this month. I know one of them was 1K subs, which is not looking too good, guys. And that's definitely your fault, not my fault. So fully prepped for Q4. I've definitely done a good job on that. Calo every day. I've been pretty autistic about Calo later. I've kind of scaled a product. I mean, it's gone past the testing phase, so I guess I'm profitable. Sort of hit that. I'm 1K subs. Run it up, boys, run it up. But yeah, also, I've just realised I'm actually getting pretty close to my first 10K month, which is crazy, guys. That was like the OG goal, 10K month, and I'm almost there, I can't lie. So yeah, this actually was not far off getting achieved in September, which is so cool. So maybe we can add that as the October goal. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.